So Miami bass was the thing for the sound systems. When did the digging come into effect? What, like, how did you get that bug?
Oh, Dicking came into play about, man, I'd say 93, 94, when I started going to New York for the first time for the new music seminars. Um,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, when I was in those battles, I would go to different spots, and there was a mixtape that got me into it. This cat named DJ Shame. Are you familiar with him? Vinyl Reanimators.
Oh,
He
that
made a
rings bells.
mixtape, but just he just made a mixtape of just didn't really like mix it. I mean, or anything, but just it was original sample after original sample after sample after sample,
Yeah.
and drum breaks, and I just that mixtape just pretty much changed my life, man. I just like after that, I was like, I was on the quest for like trying to find the source of everything that I hear and play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the process, that made me learn about different music, different kind of genres of music. So yeah, man. I mean those early days definitely changed my life as far as being a record digger, buying records.
It's funny because what hip hop did for us and our generation was it introduced us to songs so far back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
even out of our own culture zone. It just, you know, it's actually crazy to think how, and as a b-boy, you'd be put to shame if you didn't go back and find out from source what your idols idolized, right?
Right. I mean, that was when I started listening to the first, like the cassettes of like Theodore and Flash, and you know what I mean, and just listen, not even on some scratch, just on the selection that they were playing. Like, what is that
Uh,
break? What is that? What is that? Just a curiosity, man. Like that's what made me love DJing even more. You know what I mean? So, and until I got like, you get one copy. Oh man, I got a copy of this. Oh, I got two copies. I'm about to try it out right now. You know what I mean? That thrill. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't know, man. I mean, I guess for folks who don't really buy records, it's just unexplainable. It's an
yeah.
unexplainable feeling, you know. So
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you mean. I think it runs in tandem with many sensory kind of for people who are creative, whether it's graffiti writers in a tunnel when you smell the tunnel, it takes you back to that thing, doesn't it?
yeah, there's
You
a
know what's
vibe
funny?
to
I
it.
was actually I actually listened to them Kid Capri 52 Beats the other day, right?
Oh damn! See, that's legendary.
It took me right back to me being like 18, 19, discovering it.
And that's another thing too, man. Being able to meet those guys now and being friends with them, like over the years, like that's a whole other conversation. But that's but just the influence, like just to tell them, man, your 52 beats mixtape was on rotation like crazy, man. Like you know what I mean? Like it's so dope.
Yeah. To the point where the tape burnt out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I had to have double copies of that recorded. So I went on the YouTube version of the 52 Beats, and they had the titles of each one of the breaks he was using as the
Amazing.
tracks went along. That's cheating, right?
It is, man. But at the same time, I'm not mad at it now, just because if it helps the new generation kind of at least get you familiar with it, by all means, you know what I mean? Because
Mm.
just the stuff that we're into, it's I don't know, man. As a selector and a DJ, that's why I do my different themes every night, just so I can kind of get them open to it. You know what I mean? There's so much, if they're not going to look for it unless it's presented to them. You know what I mean? They won't even know what to look for, right? So that's why now, like, I'm doing a lot of like, I have a one night I call it Gold Chain Rap, and it's pretty much like
Nice.
82 to 89 hip hop. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. Big
Just so
Daddy
that
Kane, Just Ice, that
yeah,
kind of thing.
exactly. Juice Crucia, you know, and it's
Yeah.
just for them to even just so they don't just so they have an idea. And I actually mix videos as well in between.
Oh,
So it's like now it's like almost like a lightweight, a subliminal kind of a history lesson at the same time. You know what I mean?
that's cold.
Yeah. So I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, all my sets I do video mixing except for the vinyl nights.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some hefty vibe. For those of you who are listening and watching, Shortkut's got like his library on show from the back here. It's
Oh,
crazy.
what's crazy? What's funny is I have one of my nights is called Off the Shelves, and that was and that's what I pretty much do during the show. I just go off the shelf and pick a record, doubles, play it. And before Twitch, that was my original live stream show. I used to do that on
Really?
Facebook. I used to do that Facebook video.
Yeah. Until they started being funny with the copyright and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. What curiously, so you're doing it 5 nights a week, and that's more than you would normally do in a week if you were working in a normal club.
Absolutely, it's crazy.
That must. What's your trajectory? Are you anticipating that, best case scenario, that this just transfers into the live, so you're doing the Twitch and the live gigs at the same
Yeah, I
time?
mean, if I get once, I want to try it during my first, whenever I get my first international booking again. I want to ask in the writer for a Ethernet wire to the booth.
Oh, that's gold.
You know what I mean? I'm going to invest in a real good gaming computer that puts out graphics good, and maybe bring 2 webcams with me, one on me, one on the crowd. So I'll be, that'll be dope. I can just go straight to my Twitch and all the way live in London. Good morning. While it's nighttime for us in London,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be like, what's good morning to everybody in the Bay Area watching. You know what I mean? Like, that's dope. Now you don't have to be.
Sick.
Now you don't have to like fly somewhere to see your favorite DJ or or see them play. It's just it's so dope, man.
Yeah. And like you say, if you can marry the the record digger in you and the passing of knowledge conceptually with a format per show, that relaying that to a live event, you can customize the shows and almost have like a virtual room with the Twitch as well. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what it is now, right? Like it's the things that you always wanted possible are just becoming possible now. I mean, look, half of the DJs I see now on Twitch, I don't get to see them play or run it, because we're probably I only see them if we're kind of in the same city playing it. Like, for instance, me and Craze.
Yeah.
Like, last time I was with him in person was in Dubai. But now I see him DJ 3 times a week. You know what I mean? It's insane. And just smashing it and killing it, and I could talk to him at the same time, and you know what I mean. Like, normally if you're at a venue too, you can't really talk to the crowd. You talk to the crowd, but you can't interact with them. And
true.
Yeah, so it's such a different world, man.
It's true. And also, I think there's a level of honesty now with I spoke to Z-Trip about this, and what's nice is that DJs are actually playing stuff they want to play rather than
that's the big one. I mean, you don't have to play that midnight set. You know what I mean? If you're a DJ, you know what I'm talking about. When a midnight set comes, you have to play for especially if it's a venue where it's ball service or something where you're put in a position where oh man, I gotta play shit I don't want to play. Now that's why I play different genres every night, because you know what I mean. Just for me, it just keeps it like, I don't know. It's almost like I'm making a mixtape every night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's and I record all I record every stream that I do, so it's like I have a nice mixtape collection. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, how many have you got? So a year, five a week, a year?
5 a week, but the first 2 months I was on 6 nights a week. It's crazy.
So how many mixes have you, dude? How many mixes have you got?
I have a lot. Yeah, and those are just my streams. I'm not talking about the streams where I was kind of guested on with the homies. You know what I mean? Like, it's nuts, man. But like I said, I'm thankful, man. Like I think the positive thing about this whole pandemic for me is I was able to expose myself to a different audience that never knew who I was, or people who just knew me as a scratch DJ and never knew me as a selector. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's, again, just to relay, from the time I met you, first saw you live, like mixtapes you had to import. Now it's just like there.
Yep.
You can do this shit, and it's like,
button. What an era, man!
It's fucking great.
I remember having to go to Fresh 97 with 50 cassettes. You know what I'm saying, and slanging them in the front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just trying to hustle them all in the front for £5 or something. Like, it's crazy, man. Like,
but again, that was it was so golden. I loved it.
It's dope.
Yeah.
it definitely built character for a lot of us too, right? Like just kind of learn the hustle, and but at the same time, it's just that raw shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. But that's certainly transferable. Like you were saying, like now with technology being like, yeah, paramount, and you doing 5 nights a week every year, that to me is like you've transferred that hustle, and also what you're also showing people, young people especially, is patience. Uh, is a virtue. You,
absolutely,
you know what I mean?
yeah, no doubt, man. It's always it's it'll all those things will come over time. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
and it's it's one of those things. The work you put in, that's what you get out of it, right? So
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
that's
It's
what I'm
true.
saying. Like you know, another thing too. I went into this as a DJ. Now I'm my own IT. You know what I mean? Like I gotta figure, stuff that I never knew. And I went back to PC after 20 years because I stream off a PC. I've been a Mac guy forever, so
Yeah.
just stuff that I had to get used to over time. Is it's crazy,
That
man.
the struggle's real. Like it
Struggle's
is.
real,
It's
bro. Struggle's real for sure.
CPU exporting. Why is my fan going like the clappers? It's
Exactly. All that, like, what does this do? And then calling up my nerd friends and like who are just hip to it. And you know what I mean? Crazy thing is my tower was made from Arabian Prince from NWA.
what?
Yeah, he's responsible for a lot of our he made my tower, Z Trips, Jazzy Jeffs, Brett Maddox, Macio's, like
Yo, that's some fucking intel right there.
yeah,
That's
it's crazy,
cool.
man. So just shows you like, cats who are kind of up on it before. That's why I big up my brother Arabian Prince for putting me up on like all the stuff that I needed to have in order to stream properly.
Oh, he's proper techers. He's got
Oh
the
yeah,
thing
he's proper
down.
checker. Yeah, straight up.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Arabian Prince, fucking Maceo. I mean, casual, Kid Capri. Like, you must sit in those circles sometimes, and just be like, what am I doing here? At the
Absolutely. Every time on the other, I'm definitely geeking out. Like, what the hell? Like, but I'm also thankful to call those guys friends now. You know what I mean? Like, just to get to know them. And like, one thing I love about DJs, we definitely have a camaraderie, and you know what I mean. It's just it's a brotherhood that we all know. We just kind of look out for each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
some
dope.
shit. Yeah.